Good evening, class, and welcome to your virtual course, Math 50 Pre-Calculus. My name is Dr. Araipur, and you can call me Dr. A if it's easier for you. I sent several emails before the course started, as of a couple of weeks ago, letting you know that you can explore the course. Anyways, I hope you have. Here's the homepage of Canvas. So we're going to just follow the numbers. Number one, there is a short video welcoming you to the course. I am glad that you're here, and I wish you best of luck, and I'm sure we're going to have a nice semester together. Number two, class philosophy and course objectives. So quickly, what do we have here? This class is a community, and therefore, we all have the same objective: to learn. And that's really the bottom line. Of course, online students often feel isolated, but it is vitally important to know you're not in this alone. I would like each of you to approach our online class with a great attitude and a willingness to help one another. In short, I'm hoping that you treat it as a classroom, and you're more than welcome to get together, help each other. And of course, I'm talking about the homework and no more. Course objective. The objectives of our pre-calculus course are about exploring the relationship between advanced algebra topics and trigonometry. Pre-calculus is an informative introduction to calculus. I can't emphasize the importance of this course for anyone who want to continue on with engineering courses, with calculus courses. If you feel comfortable with this course, you're going to have an easy time with that, because on a normal basis, students who have a hard time with more advanced courses such as calculus courses because of the prior knowledge of mathematics. And of course, if you want to contact me, here's my email address, and you can use the inbox, of course, of Canvas. I'm going to go back to the homepage of Canvas. The next one is the announcements. Let me put this in a student mode. And if you click on the announcements, these are the announcements that have been sent to everybody. And generally speaking, most of emails I want to send you, not all, most of them are in the form of announcements, just because if for any reason you miss that, you can go to the announcement and find it. For example, when the time comes to take the exam, in about a week in advance, you receive the information about the exam, passport, and everything else. If you miss that for any reason, you can find it right here. Going back to the homepage of Canvas. Number 4, you can find the syllabus, modules that contains the homework and exams, discussion forum, and at the bottom. I want to make sure that a couple of things are explained here. Number 1, at the very bottom, this is the way you attend the Zoom meeting for the office hours. And I basically have it every day in the morning for this semester from 7 to 9. Whereas coming to the class, you have to go to this Tech Connect Zoom. If you look at the left navigation bar, you find it right here. And you join. So I want to distinguish between the two. So going back to the home page of Canvas. On the left navigation bar, Tech Connect Zoom brings you to the class. At the bottom takes you to the office hours, of course, when the office hours is in session. All right. So let's start with the syllabus. Whether you click on the syllabus right here or on the left navigation bar, you can find the syllabus. Either way makes no difference. First, I want to look at the second one, which is the Excel calendar. Basically, every few weeks, we have an exam. So the first one starts right here. And the way I've set up the exams, every exam takes place on Saturdays. I want to make sure everybody is comfortable when they take the exam. So I just set it up for the class session. There is no proctorio, but I believe everybody is here to learn, and you want to make sure that you take the exam on your own. And you're going to imagine you're taking the exam on campus without any help whatsoever. So you see the calendar here, and of course, there are a couple of assignments due immediately. We're going to discuss that further as we come across a mandatory assignment to by Open Math and Algebra Review. We're going to get to that later. And so going back to the home page and then the syllabus, the first one, here's the syllabus again. First and foremost, welcoming you to the course. And then as we scroll down, notice nowadays the syllabi are really way too long, and I understand that because there's a lot of information that has to be given to the students, and that's why I'm putting them in this format, topics. Okay, so you can go to a topic of interest. Let's take a couple of minutes to cover them. And so this is Monday, Wednesday. Okay, I gotta fix this one, ignore it. This needs okay, I will fix that later on. Student learning outcome, course objective, topics that we cover. Okay, from real and complex numbers to exponents and radicals and so on and so forth. Text. The text can be found online. It's by OpenStax and it's free. Okay, can show you right here, or when we go to my Open Math, I will do that later on. Class calendar, you have a synopsis of that here. Okay, so this one wasn't fixed properly. Am I? I will look at that later, but in any event, so as we scroll down, we get to the calculators. Okay, I believe we should be here, and the syllabus. Okay, so let's leave the students mode. Let's go to the home page, and just to fix things up, let's go back to the syllabus. And okay, this is more like it. Let's check something here quickly. Yeah, this makes sense. All right, so this has the right timing. I was looking at the wrong syllabus in any event. So Monday, Wednesday, 6 to 8:30. As we scroll down, as I mentioned, the text. Also, the online assignment is done in a digital platform known as My Open Math. And short, I'm going to call it MOM. It's for free. Okay, everything is for free. Again, the class calendar is here, as you can see. And every few weeks, we have an exam. And of course, we cover the exam review, the practice test in class. As I mentioned, there is no proctorial. And I'm assuming everybody's here to learn, and everybody is going to take the exam as though they are in class. Meeting, important dates, calculators. I believe everything should be free for the students. You can borrow calculators from the Math Success Center. You can find free online calculators here. Okay. So you don't have to pay for anything. If you want to use that, that's fine. We have the tech support, campus support, Canvas support, and so forth. Math Success Center is here, and I will mention also that you can find it on the left navigation bar of Canvas. I will go over that in a moment. So it has the location, website, and all the information you need. Let's discuss the grading policy. The grading policy class. We have this here. Okay. So the grading policy, you have the following. 300 points for the homework. That includes the homework, introduction to my open math, the algebra review. Algebra review is just prior knowledge of mathematics. There are 4 exams, each one is worth 100 points. And the final, which is comprehensive, 300 points, giving you a total of 1,000 points. It's a point system. So it's easy to see what your grade is at the end. 90% or higher, that means 900 points and more gets earns you an A. 80%, that means 800 to 899 is a B. 70%, 700 to 799 is a C, and so on. Now, this is very important to pay attention to. You must take all the exams in order to pass the course. Your lowest grade before the final may be replaced by the final exam score if that is the percentage wise, of course. The final score is a grade of B, that means 80% or better. Homework grades are high at 95% or higher. And more importantly, this action will result in a higher letter grade. If we do all of it and the letter grade doesn't change, it defeats the purpose. Needless to say, if you fail to take an exam, you will receive 0 points for that exam and it will not be dropped or replaced. There's no makeup exam. You have the entire week to take the exam and you can take the exam on Saturday or before that. The moment you receive the password, you can take the exam. But the only way that one may get a makeup exam with proper documentation accepted by campus. Course late policy, there's a 10% deduction and there are exceptions. That means there is no late policy for the exams, the first couple of assignments, and any assignment in Module 5. I guess the rest is pretty straightforward. CSULV study 36. This is important for everybody to know. According to the research, we need about three times the number of unit hours per week. That means this is 5 units, and we need 15 hours to do well. So that's something that you want to bear in mind. Dropping policy. If anyone misses the first session or is not registered with the publisher immediately, miss the first or second assignment, miss the first or second exam, they will be dropped. Then there's more information for DSPS office, financial aid, if anybody needs to look at those. And summary steps to success. Study the PowerPoint in each module. Do your homework before deadline under the module. Okay. Watch the video lectures embedded in homework set in my open math. Study the practice test and their solution. Take the exam by their due date. The office hours are posted at the bottom of the homepage of Canvas as well as here. Okay. Then we have more information such as basic needs, Justice Scholars Program, so on and so forth. And I want to mention this one. They call it Netiquette for online learning. In short, the idea is that you, all of us, we want to be professional, we want to be courteous towards one another. And although it's an online course, but it's important to use the correct spelling and grammar. This is not an English course, but still when you write an email, it has to be a proper email and a proper subject line. Make sure you either send it from the inbox of Canvas, so I know which course you're registered in, or make sure to put the course and the section number in the subject line. All right, so that's the syllabus, everybody. And I'm going to go back to Canvas, and here's the homepage of Canvas. So we looked at the announcement and the syllabus, and now under the modules, you can find this. And before I do that, I want to look at a couple more things, and then module, I'm going to do it lastly. One of them is the discussion forum. You can look at it here, or again, on the left navigation bar, look for discussions. Nothing is graded here. We have student bios, and as an example, I put mine. It'll be nice if you put yours so your fellow students get to know. You don't have to if you don't want to. If you want to reply to any fellow student, you're more than welcome to do that. Just make sure you only use positive tone, okay? We want to encourage one another. So that's student bios. And the next one, everybody, frequently asked questions, FAQ. In the past, students have had questions. I thought, I put them here in case For example, how do I use the math editor is here? Do I need a course ID? This comes up, even tonight it might come up. In order to register with your digital platform called My Open Math, you don't need a course ID. Why not? Because you register from here, from Canvas, under the modules, and I will get to that. So you don't need a course ID. I can't emphasize this enough. Text, it's online, so you don't need text unless you want to download it, and you can. Then we have the support from various groups, the Canvas, the campus, and you name it. How do you access expired assignments is here. And this one, again, I want to remind you where to find the exam password. It's interesting, although I mentioned it here, and students receive an email in advance, still there are questions about that. So announcements with the exam title are emailed to students and have all the information, including the exam password. So I hope that's clear. Going back to the discussion forum, we have also a forum that students want to get together and ask questions from one another in case. None of which are graded, okay? The next one, before I go to the modules, on the left navigation bar, this Math Success Center that you see here, everybody, if you click on it, it takes you there. And you have all the information here. Welcome to the Math Success Center. Okay. If you want to visit us online, it says, check out all the services they have to offer, tutoring, free calculated loan program. Again, I've shown you free online calculators. I will tell you that they also have a free calculator loan. Of course, it's limited. If anybody is interested, you have to go there in person, and I think it's based on first come, first served. And when they run out, they run out. And other information, in-person help, online help. If you need tutoring for various courses, okay, it's here. So I hope you see that you want this is available. You want to visit that in case you need tutoring or you need any other type of help that they have to offer you. Going back to the homepage of Canvas now, let me just pose a couple of things here. The last one I want to look at is the modules. Again, you can click on the modules right here or look at the left navigation bar and look for modules, makes no difference. You find a lot of things here. First, let me go over them, and then we go over them one by one. At the very top, you see what happened. I went back to the home page. At the very top, you see my open math. This is where you go to my open math, and this is recorded lecture practice test. We look at each one. Then starts with the first module, exam one module, or week 1, 2, 3. First, you see what is a practice test. Then you see the PowerPoints. And then you see the key to the practice test, solution to a practice test. And of course, under the recorded, I have the recorded practice test, and that's we also work on that. When we are done with module 1, you really know the rest of the course, because module 2 repeats in the same manner. It starts with a practice test, PowerPoint, solution to practice test, same thing for the next one and the next one and the next one. What do you find at the end? I'm going to go over it first. At the end of the module page, you have graphing calculator, TI calculator command. If you click on that, it brings up the information about some online calculators here. So if you look at the bottom, these are online calculators and resources. If you look up here, There is a way that you can download an emulator for a TI calculator that, if it works, looks like that, everybody. Again, if it works, I gotta tell you, sometimes it's hard to make it work. But that is a possibility. You can follow the information here. But as I mentioned, there are online calculators that you can use here. And some basic commands if anybody needs them. Okay, so just to let you know what we have here. So going back to the modules, again, that was at the bottom. What do we find for the first module? I want to go over that. The very first thing, because I want you to compare and contrast, that you see is module 1, practice test, exam review, whatever you want to call that. I highly recommend you either print that or just download it onto your computer and take about 3 to 5 minutes to read it. This is the synopsis of what is being covered for the first exam. So we have a bunch of questions. Okay. So that's the first one. Now, then going back to the modules, module 1, after the practice test, we have the PowerPoints. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, 10.0, the circle. So if you click on it, you can get to a section of interest. And if you put it in slide mode, step by step. So these are the PowerPoints that are being covered for the first module. I'm going to go back to the modules. And again, I'm just concerned with the first module. So we have the practice test here. We have the PowerPoints here. And now what do we have here? Now, we had the practice test here. Now we have the key to practice test. What I recommend you do is that on a daily basis, just do one question, maximum 2 questions per day from the practice test. By the time we get to the week of exam, you're more than ready to nail the exam. So we have the practice test. We have the PowerPoints. We have the key to the practice test. Going back to the modules. Now, if you go to the top, the first thing that you see is the recorded lecture practice test, exam review. What do you find there? You find the lectures. If you click on this one, everybody, in blue, those PowerPoints that we had here, starting with section 1.1, these are the recorded lectures step by step. What else do you find there? This is the latest one, and we will add the new one. These are the solution to the practice test. So let me go back here. So you have the practice test here that you intend to do on a daily basis. That's extremely important. Then you have the key. You can consult the key to make sure it's correct. And here's the previously recorded solution to practice test step by step. Of course, maybe I should put them in a reverse order now. This, was put in an order from the beginning to the end, and now it's from the end to the beginning. Okay, just to let you know. So we have the practice test. We have the key to the practice test. We have the solution to practice test. It can't get any better than that. It's got everything you need. So what is this one? Let me uh, put that in student mode. This one, everybody. This is where you register with your digital platform called My Open Math. So the moment you click on it, either you have an account, which means you have a username and password, or you don't. Most likely you don't. Then you create an account. I hope everybody's clear. Perhaps the best course of action is that you use the same username and password that you use for your Canvas or for your email here, so you don't have to memorize it. It's something that you use for this course. I hope you see how, I'm assuming everybody knows how to register. So it's very straightforward, okay? Let me leave the student view, going back to the home page. So we've covered everything, and now I want to go over my Open Math to see how it works. So after you register, you can go to my Open Math and notice it starts at the very top with introductory assignment to my Open Math, which is due almost immediately. Then it's algebra review. Then the exams, and I'm going to, this is expanded. I'm going to close it up. You don't have to worry about it yet, but this is where you find these exams, and they have a pass. Course description, the course will be centered on several main topics, so on and so forth. This is important. All content is in the course module. So when we go down, okay, first of all, let me just, this is an expanded mode. First, let me just close them up, and then I'll expand them and I'll show you. So, and again, the course starts with module 1. Module 0 is a resource. So for most sections of, okay, so all content is in the course modules folders, which include textbook sections, videos, and sets of homework. For most sections of the text, you will find 2 assessments. Video assignment. These assessments contain video lessons. After each video, there is 1 or 2 questions that correspond with the examples in the video. Then you have practice/homework assignment. These assignments contain additional problems beyond the types covered in the video lessons. These assessments are intended to serve the role of homework. As we go down, I want you to pay attention to this calendar. First of all, you can change the number to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. First and foremost, a couple of assignments are coming up, and we're going to discuss it today, and you're going to start with that. Look at exam 1. Okay. And right before that, all homework assignments are there. What does it mean? Should I wait until that day to do my homework assignments? And the answer is absolutely not, because then you won't have time to finish it by any means. Okay. So what do? On a daily basis, just do 1 section. That's all. It really doesn't take that long. But if you wait until then, besides the fact you can't finish it, more importantly, you won't learn enough to do well with the exam. Okay. So let's scroll down. Module 0, as the name indicates, resources. So I highly recommend you look at it. If you don't need any of them, just ignore it, because your course starts with module 1, just the way as we did it on Canvas module 1. So let me show you what you find under module 0. So here's the text, everybody. You can click on it. It brings the text. Okay. And this is in the form of a PDF file. If you click on this, then it's online and it's easier to navigate. Okay. View online. So in this format, it's easier to navigate. It's really the same thing, class. All right. So that's your text if you need it. When we scroll down, it goes over the late pass calendar, gradebook, and so on. For example, when something is expired, you can check it out in practice mode. The free online calculators, we mentioned that during the syllabus, uh, when we went over the syllabus, I mentioned there are some online calculators for, of course, free. I'm mentioning it again here. It's your choice. One of them is Desmos is a scientific as well as a graphing calculator, and it has a video explaining how to use that. So that's it. This is module 0, and I'm going to close it up. If you don't need it, you don't need it. And modules 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just as in Canvas, they cover the same topics. So the only one I'm going to look at is module 1. So what do we find under? We find the chapters, chapter 1, chapter 2. I hope you remember we had it in Canvas. And the same thing happens here and this section. So you start with the first chapter. What do you find here? Chapter 1, learning objectives. And if you want to go to the text, you can click on it. It takes you to the specific chapter and section of the text. Obviously, we have a bunch of sections. We're going to start with the first section. I highly recommend, again, I want to go back up here. If you click on the homework here, it brings all your homework. Please don't pay attention to that. Go to module because if you go to 1.1, you have a bunch of videos here. In the past, some students would just watch those videos and they'd be very happy and they would move on. Then you have a couple of assignments. One of them is a video assignment, VA, and the next one is the practice assignment, PA. So video assignment, for the sake of argument, you have a video and some questions, okay? This one is really the homework, if you will, because video assignments, normally they have a video and there is it. Even when you go there, there is help available. For example, you see this question, we have a video with that. Same thing here, we have a couple of videos here, here. And some questions may not have help, but a lot of them do. So I hope you see that how easy it is to handle that. So when you want to do the homework, instead of going to the calendar to do it, go to the section that you have to do. Obviously, the first exam is about module 1. Okay, so you expand module 1. You have a couple of chapters. Expand the first chapter and the first section and work on it. Now, what I want to show you is how easy it is to do the homework, because there's really no limit as far as the time is concerned, as long as it's done before the due date, and the number of questions in case you get something wrong. So let me quickly show you. For example, the very first one here, if we start with that, this introductory assignment, want to show you how to use my open. So over here, we want to enter the number. What is that? At the moment I click on this box, it shows me a math palette that helps in case I need a fraction or a square root and you name it. So 42.1593. That's all. Just put the number in. Okay. Now the next one says put the same one, but we want to go with rounding to the nearest 100. So 42.15 changes to 6 because next to it is 9. Can you divide by 0? The answer is no, it's undefined. So they don't, when you open it, it doesn't have it. So you go with DNE, does not exist. Look, this is extremely important for everybody to pay attention. Then what do? If you don't submit the question, it's not done. Now that I submitted and check mark shows me that I have it right and the grade is submitted for this question. If I finish this before the due date, so be it. If it passes it, this is the only one that is considered right. If I go to number 2, it says 1/3 converted to decimal and 4 or more decimals. You know it's 0.3 bar, and I'm going to put just 1 on purpose, and I submit the question, and obviously it's wrong because they asked for 4. So what do I do? Do I move on? The answer is no. I just get a similar question. So if I get a similar question, it happened to give me the same one. This time 0 point, and I put a lot of them. Okay. And now if I submit that notice, check mark, I got my point. And that's what I want you to pay attention to. So when you do the homework, it's easy to get 100% because if something goes wrong, get a similar question. Now, something comes up, I can't continue. I'm going to click done. And here's what happens. The 2 questions that are check marked, I already got my points. See, 10%. Okay. I have a chance of resuming or exiting. Now, any time before the due date expires, I can come back and resume. So it doesn't have to be now. So if I exit, this is registered for now as my grade, and then it will improve later as I do that. So I hope you see that why it's easy to ace the homework. So let me go back to the course, and I want to recap what we did. So quickly, on the home page of Canvas, first we have a welcoming message, then the class philosophy. You can find the announcements. On the left navigation bar, Tech Connect Zoom takes us to the class Zoom, and at the bottom, Office. We want to pay attention to the time, of course. We explore the syllabus. Math Success Center, all kinds of help available. Discussion forum contains student bios and frequently asked questions, and also a forum for all students to collaborate. And everything can be found under the modules. So I went over the last one, which is the information about the TI. The top one has the practice test, and this is where you go to your digital platform, and you're concerned with the very first module only, which starts with the practice test, PowerPoints, key to the PowerPoints. Under the recorded lecture, you can find the solution, recorded solution step by step. Right here, it gives you a chance to register with my Open Math. At the very top, we start with the introductory assignment to get familiarized with how to work with my Open Math. Then we do the algebra review. Again, this is the purpose of that is to let us know how much prior knowledge of mathematics we have. That will be helpful. And then as you scroll down, module 0, it's a bunch of resources, including the text, and the course homework starts with module 1. You expand it, starting with chapter 1, section 1.1, the video lessons, video assignments, and the practice assignments. So I hope everybody is okay with that. And again, going back to the homepage of Canvas, I'm sure you guys do fine. I wish you all best of luck and happy studying, everybody.